Welcome back to the Dividend Diplomats YouTube channel, everybody. We have an exciting video for you today. We are going to talk to you about what company could possibly be the best dividend growth stock.
Smash that subscribe button, give Bert and I a thumbs up. We're here to talk to you about what could be the best dividend stock for your portfolio.
Yeah, we know you guys are excited. We're dividend growth investors through and through. We're constantly on the lookout to find great, undervalued companies that have increased their dividend through good times and bad. That's why this company has made it to the top of our list and why we think it could be the best ever.
Would you like a dividend stock that yields almost 3%, which is what, almost 2 times the stock market?
Yeah, Lanny, that sounds pretty awesome to me.
How about if that income stream that generates 3% also grew at around 7% each and every year?
You mean 3 times the rate of inflation?
I mean pushing 4 times the rate of inflation, Bert.
That is true.
And I mean almost an incalculable amount for next to your raise that you got at your company this year.
Or even larger than the cuts in our savings rates that just keep happening.
Yeah, I did just get that Ally financial email that says my savings rate went from 80 basis points to 60 basis points.
It's not right.
If you do the math, that was a 25% haircut that they just gave us.
Yeah, Landy, this all sounds awesome. Who wouldn't want a higher dividend yield, a growing dividend nonetheless? Come on, just tell us now. What is this company?
Not yet, Bertie.
All right.
Let me tell you a little bit more about this company.
Man.
What if you can go into all of your neighbors' houses? I can go into Bert's house, see what products him and his wife are buying for their child, even for themselves, and I could find that this company produces quite a few of those brands.
Yeah, tonight when we put my daughter to bed, we'll be using some of their lotions with her. We will be, come bath time, using a lot of their soap products. It's great. We buy them all the time.
You know, Bert on his drive over, he wore maybe a pair of nail Depends.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you guys have been anticipating who this best dividend stock is. For those of you that have already guessed, please leave your guess now in the comments, so we can see how many people have actually guessed this company right.
Yeah, they're never going to guess this, are they?
You don't think they're going to guess this?
Not a chance they're getting this.
You mean you don't have this one tattooed on your forearm?
Yeah.
Or at least on your hands from the CM Punk, since you're bringing back CM Bert right now?
Yeah, I love it. Also, when I'm shooting my free throws too, people can see it on my triceps as well.
Should we announce the name, Bert?
I'll get the drum roll going.
The best dividend stock is Johnson & Johnson.
Ticker symbol JNJ.
Good old reliable. Yes, J&J. First, they're one of our top 5 foundation stocks for your portfolio. Bert, what makes J&J so reliable?
I think we've covered a lot of it already. Let's start with the dividend history. They've increased their dividend for over 50 plus consecutive years. That makes them not just a dividend aristocrat, that makes them a dividend king. I love it.
The king of the ring.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, first off, with the dividend, we mentioned earlier we love the growing income stream. Johnson & Johnson has done it for that 50 plus consecutive years through good times and bad. Think about all of the economic cycles that they have increased their dividend through. The oil crisis is in the 70s, the S&L crisis is in the 80s, the dot-com bubble, the financial crisis, and they even announced it in the heart of the pandemic in 2020. In April, they were one of the few companies to announce when others were cutting.
And they even made it through when Bert was born.
Yeah, that was a big enough event on its own. But there has to be another reason, Lanny, why we're considering them good old reliable. Why do you think they're on our list?
Honestly, why I think J&J could be one of the best dividend stocks to buy for your portfolio is honestly valuation. Ooh. Right now, in the uncertain market, where we've seen the stock market all-time highs in February and March hit, significant lows at the end of March, come roaring back through August and September. Obviously, September's been volatile, but yet here's J&J sitting at just around $145 a share, but yet their price to earnings ratio is below 16.
Yeah, that's incredible. So compared to the current market, which has a PE ratio of 28-ish right now, which is insanely high on its own, But even the historical stock market is around 20 times earnings, maybe slightly less depending on the day. So Johnson & Johnson, for a company that has as reliable of a dividend as it does, is such a great consumer staple to consistently be trading below the market. That's huge. That's a great point, Lanny.
It's huge. And then when you peel back another Dividend Diplomat stock screener, dividend metric of the payout ratio, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Does that fall in line with the perfect payout ratio?
Yeah, we consider a perfect payout ratio between 40% and 60%. J&J is right in the middle of that range. So they take their earnings, they still reinvest them in the company so that they can continue building new products and growing their cash flow. But they also work on growing our cash flow and our passive income stream by paying us that increasing dividend each year.
Another very interesting part about J&J is I remember back when I would buy them in the $90 per share to $100 per share range. And yet, I think they may even be more undervalued now, trading at in the $145 range.
It's insane.
So that's why you need to really consistently look at J&J because of really their earnings growth has kept up with their share price.
Yeah, and I love this point actually. I think this is a great point, Lanny, because just it's a mental block. You see that one of your stocks is up 50%. You're like, I don't want to buy more. It's expensive now. But you really got to dig in and look at that fundamental analysis. Because if you would have done that, to Lanny's point, they're trading at a cheaper multiple now. They're still showing signs of undervaluation, even though your investment has grown over the years.
And Bert talked about the 50, pretty much 60 years of consistent dividend growth. If you actually look at the trajectory that we'll show here on the screen, you'll notice that they grow pretty much at an average rate of 6 to 7% per year. Even during a global pandemic, they were still north of 6% on that dividend increase.
Yeah, it's great. Sometimes the consistency is key, and just seeing it in your portfolio is just nice to have.
And that's why we also call it good old reliable, because you buy J&J really knowing what you're going to get. An above average yield with an above average growth rate with an above average increase in their share price.
As they always say, you have your death, taxes, and a 6 to 7% dividend increase from Johnson & Johnson.
That's exactly what they say. I know I'll be saying it at Bert's eulogy.
Yeah.
So Bert, what's the number one reason why you think J&J, Johnson & Johnson, could be the best dividend stock to buy?
I mean, it's a point we covered earlier, the products. To me, you mentioned how you love the price, how it consistently increases, how earnings appreciate with the share price and the dividends. What fuels that earnings growth, Lanny? It's sales, it's their products. Johnson & Johnson over the years continues to innovate and stay relevant in everyday households. To me, it's a huge point when you open up somebody's medicine cabinet, when you go around their house and you see their products everywhere. If it's in that house, it's in a ton of houses across the country. People are always going to have illnesses that they need to get medicated for. They're always going to have children that they need to take care of, and they're always going to have other household needs that just need to get addressed. And a company like Johnson & Johnson is there to fill those needs, and they have some of the best brands out there.
Speaking of brands, I did just see the news release too, Bert, that they're actually trying to, they're also battling their way with the coronavirus or COVID-19 vaccine.
Wow, that is huge.
So you have another entry into the, I would say the ring right now to say who's going to provide that vaccine for the general population, and Johnson & Johnson threw their hat in there.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and I'm excited to see how this vaccine race plays out because it could be huge for Johnson & Johnson. Now, Lanny, are there any other reasons why you think Johnson & Johnson is the best dividend stock that we haven't covered?
I mean, not only do they have a really cool name of Johnson & Johnson, ticker symbol is pretty recognizable with J&J, actually correlates with their name. Honestly, I think from a high level, we've covered it all. A pretty much almost 3% dividend yield. The price to earnings ratio is below 16. The perfect dividend payout ratio for Johnson & Johnson. The dividend growth, I mean, they're going to set their own, between them or Procter & Gamble, they're going to set their own threshold after the dividend king. Maybe at 75 years, they'll call themselves like the dividend Goliath or the dividend emperor.
Yeah, we better trademark these names now because companies are getting there.
They could be called the dividend diplomats. So that's why I think Johnson & Johnson is the absolute best dividend stock. It has been. It's been, trialed. It's been tested We own it, I own it, you own it, you own it, she owns it, he owns it, they own it. Do you own it? Please, I would say let us know in the comments if you have a spot of J&J in your portfolio.
Yeah, and if we missed anything, if you think there's another reason why Johnson is the best dividend stock, tell us below. If you don't agree with us, we'd love to hear why you think there's a better dividend stock out there.
Yeah, please prove us that there's a better stock that produces a growing dividend than J&J consistently for 60 years.
Just want to warn you though, if you're going to do this, be ready. Because Lanny likes to debate this and he likes to battle, so get ready.
Brother! If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up, turn it blue for us, subscribe to our channel. We hope that this was definitely educational, and if you're an investor out there looking for a right dividend stock to buy, hopefully Johnson & Johnson is a great dividend stock for your portfolio. Again, this is Bert and Lanny from the Dividend Diplomats.
Over and out.